You ready to multiply the opportunities you get from your very next trade show? Then you've got to learn how to effectively network with others. Your best leads, your best opportunities are going to come from people that you know personally. And so, hey, let's get to know a few more of them through networking. So, here's my top 10 networking tips for when you are at a trade show. And some of these are specifically for when you are an exhibitor. Now, these first three you should do before the show. So get ready. If you got a show coming up, you got to get these done. Number one is to have a go-to question that you use every time, or maybe a couple different ones based on the situation. And if you're an introvert like I am, you've got to have these locked in, or else you'd be stumbling over your introductions. But for me, it's going to be a question that's going to get them talking for a little bit. And that is, how did you get started in your company, or how did you get started in this industry? That's going to really give you some great information about them, how long they've been in the industry, their passions, things like that. And another great question is, tell me about your company. So they have an opportunity to start talking. So that's first tip. Second tip, prepare a quick pitch, or you may call it an elevator pitch, which came from, those situations when you're on an elevator and you have an opportunity to tell something about your company. It could be possibly be your next big customer, and you have a very, very short window of time to get out everything you need to. So you can't be droning on and on and on. It's got to be quick. It's got to be to the point, and it's got to be easy for them to understand. Don't tell them everything about you and your company. For me, my elevator pitch, my quick pitch is I help businesses get more leads, more sales, more profits using the power of trade shows. Simple, to the point. Get it locked in for your company. What is yours? Get it locked in. Number three tip, take advantage of networking opportunities. Study the show agenda, see what's available, and get those networking events on your calendar ahead of time. Don't miss them. Don't get locked out because you plan something else. Make sure you get those on your calendar. So that's number three. Number four, bring business cards with you. I know this might sound old school and I'm an old guy, okay? But there's a ton of apps out there. There's a ton of technology that will allow you to capture people's information. But here's the thing, I don't know about you, but on my phone, I've got so many apps and I can pull someone's information in there. But if I'm not looking specifically for it, I may lose it. And a business card, so easy to hold on to. It's that physical reminder. So make sure you pack plenty of business cards. You could be handing those out. Tip number five, at the show, network with people at all the booths around you. So when you're exhibiting, make sure you reach out to the people right at those very booths all the way around you. Find out who they are. What does their business do? And then tell them about your business. And the key is to do this before the show starts, because once the show starts, you could be busy. There's a lot going on, and you might not have those opportunities. So make sure you get this done before the show starts. So you're getting value from these tips so far. Be sure to give this a like, subscribe to our channel. And if you have a favorite networking tip, whether it's something we already talked about or something that you do, drop it in the comments below, please. So here's networking tip number six. When you're outside the show, look for other people wearing badges from your show. I got all these badges back here. People wear badges at these shows to show that they are at the specific conference, this specific expo. Whether you're at the hotel, even walking out on the street, be on the lookout for other people wearing these badges and then strike up a conversation. You're never going to know where your next big lead is going to come from. Tip number seven, stay at the host hotel. So if this is a big regional event or a national event, you've got a host hotel and it's a multi-day event, people are going to be there. Stay at that hotel or at least hang out there. Even if you're staying at another one, hang out at the host hotel. You're going to see so many people from the show in casual conversations, going to give you a greater opportunity to meet more people, network with more people, especially those who are your target audience. So that's tip number seven, stay at the host hotel or just hang out there. Tip number eight, don't be afraid of small talk. I know we all want to get down to business. We want to get more leads, but some of the greatest relationships can be developed with some of those small talking points. You're talking about sports, you're talking about where you're from, you could talk about things that you have in common. All of a sudden, you latch onto something and you can have created a friendship that can go way beyond business. And who do we buy from? We buy from people we know, like, and trust. So uh, don't be afraid of that small talk. You don't want to be talking to someone for hours, of course, but don't be afraid of it. Don't avoid it. That's tip number 8. Tip number 9, be a good listener and ask good follow-up questions. So when you're listening, they say something that can lead to that next question, ask them that next question. Keep them talking. A good follow-up, if you can't think of anything, is why are you here at the show? This may spark an immediate connection because they're saying, oh, we're here to find a vendor for ABC. And if that's your company, all of a sudden, whoa, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to connect. Stop by our booth later or whatever it might be, but find out why are they there. You might be able to make a referral for somebody. And here's another thing. When you're asking someone else questions, eventually they're going to turn around, they're going to start asking you the similar questions. So that's what you want. You want that good back and forth. So they're then asking you about you. So number 10th networking tip is to be sure to follow up with each person you meet. Send them an email, give them a phone call. Be sure to connect with them on LinkedIn right there at the show or right after the show, but make sure you are following up with every single person you've made that connection with because you never know where that's going to lead. Now that you have my top 10 networking tips, make sure you're not unintentionally turning people off. So watch this video next for what not to do at your booth.